So I have gone the last 4 days without a single incident with this inverter. And earlier today, we had an enormous amount of sun, and I wasn't drawing nearly enough to keep the battery voltage steady. And then the inverter went into that mode that I was talking about earlier. And one of my subscribers made a comment about how it sounded like it was running in 50 hertz rather than 60. As it turns out, they were correct. I had my kilowatt meter out, and I had it in the house, and I had it plugged in waiting for this to happen. Of course, a couple days, nothing happens, so I'm thinking, okay, it's never going to repeat itself, and then it does. So in fact, the inverter, for some reason, is dropping down to 50 hertz. And I really wish that I could get a hold of Power Jack and let him know about all this kind of stuff, because they seem to be ignoring me now. So I'm trying to figure out what's causing it. I've done all sorts of things to try to reproduce it to see what could be causing it, and I really can't figure it out. But I did notice something. You'll notice that on all these boards here, you've got green LEDs. All the boards have LEDs. However, this particular board right here, which is the signal board, the LED is not lit up. Now, I have plenty of spares. This is actually what it looks like here. This is the signal board. So I'm wondering if possibly that being burnt out like it is hasn't actually caused an issue. As you can see, there's a green LED that should be right there in that spot, which will coincide with that spot right there. So that's not lit up, and other than that, everything seems to be working, and I'm just wondering if maybe I'm going to pull that board off. It's so sunny out right now, it's so nice. I'm running the house on the inverter, so I'm not going to do it today. I'm going to wait for a cloudy day. I don't like to take this thing apart when it's sunny, because then I have a lot of downtime that I don't like. But I'm going to take that board off, and I'm going to look at all the resistors and see if possibly there isn't one that kind of gave out. I mean, I'm not really sure, but the inverter seems to run fine otherwise. So again, I'm not really too sure what's causing that issue. All this stuff is going to be going in the house here real soon. I've got it all in the garage right now. It's all going to be going in the house. I'll be shortening up the wire. I'll be using thicker wire to get to the house. Things like that. What it came down to was I couldn't do it with 12 volts because the wire that had to run from the solar panels to the battery bank was going to be enormous. You're talking about 0 gauge, because I have to go 75 feet from the roof of the garage to the battery bank. 75 feet. That's an incredible loss at 12 volts. Now, the solar panels themselves put out 40 volts at 24 volts when you're in a 24 volt setup. The Grape solar panels put out 40 volts. So 40 volts coming down to 24 is pretty easy over 75 feet with 2 gauge wire, or even 4. I could get away with 4. And you might be wondering, why not just go bigger wire? Well, I do not have an MPPT controller, and I do want to make this clear about this. This is my charge controller. Okay, it is a PWM charge controller, so it is not MPPT, so it does not take the excess voltage and turn that into more charging. It just basically is an on-off switch in a way, but it's a tapered charger, so it's really smart. And it's great for AGM batteries, which is why I picked it up specifically, and it's like 1/10 of the cost. MPPT controllers are very expensive, and they're usually limited to about 25 or 30 amps. Whereas I have a 60 amp contactor on this 24 volt system, so I could have about 2.5 kilowatts, maybe a little bit less than that, before I would have to worry, because these contactors can actually handle more than they're rated. Don Seeley is the owner of FlexCharge, and he said he's seen about 80 or 90 amps through those before there's any concern. So I don't have to worry about that. But yeah, I'm getting ready to haul this all in the garage, or not in the garage, in the house. And so I've got a baby box for all this stuff. All this is going to be all redone. This is all looks really crappy right now, but all of it's going to be redone completely. I'm going to have it all in boxes and cooled and things like that. That's all going in the house, but I'm prepping the laundry room right now to have it all in there because the laundry room is actually where the breaker panel is. So that's that. So yeah, all this stuff here is going to be going inside, which I think will eliminate some of my issues. I'm running on the sun right now, but so anyway, yeah. So I think I've maybe possibly figured out the problem. Might be that board right there, but yeah, it drops down to 50 hertz, and I can't really figure out why. And again, it's useless at this point to send any emails to PowerJack because they seem to be ignoring me completely. I can't really figure out why, and it's really sad too because there's a lot of people who come to this channel who look at this inverter or my other inverters. They see me modify them, they see me use them, they see me say things like they're great inverters, and then they do something like this where they don't even talk to me at all. And I'm the one who's actually selling quite a few of their inverters. I get a lot of people who, on both sides, who will say, oh, I hate them, they're trash, I returned them, I threw them away. And then I get other people who say, I love them, and use them all the time, haven't had any problems. So, my hope is that because this is a pre-production unit that they've worked out some of those bugs. But again, it would be so nice if I could get a hold of an actual production unit. A real one. So, I don't think that's going to happen. PowerJack has really ignored me. I tried directly emailing Jack Chang, which is the guy who actually owns and runs PowerJack, and he didn't send me a response. So, I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully I can. Maybe you guys can nudge him a little bit. So anyway, yeah, we'll see if I can fix this problem.